Well, we have finally made it to the postseason as Hayes High will start their road to Pittsburgh tonight after beating Topeka last week to secure the 7th seed, and they'll welcome in the 10th-seeded Valley Center Hornets to Lewis Field Stadium. And with that, we say hello on this cold night here in Hayes, Kansas, along with our entire Tribe Broadcasting Network crew. I'm Hank Corsair, and for the second year in a row, Hayes High and Valley Center are meeting at Lewis Field Stadium as part of the playoffs, only this time it's in the opening round instead of regionals like last year. We also get another great matchup of two teams that love to use the run game, as Hayes High has a loaded backfield with Malik Baugh, Carter Graham, and Ian McGuire, but for Valley Center, they feature an 1,000-yard running back wearing number 1, Daymont Mucker, and the Hornets do a great job with the run game as a pro-style offense with the quarterback and the fullback playing into that as well. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ball, both of these teams have physical defenses that have done well at forcing interceptions and stopping the run game, and tonight will be the 5th all-time meeting between the Hornets and the Indians, and the 3rd meeting that is part of the postseason, and Valley Center leads the all-time series 3-1 with Hayes High's only win coming last year in that regional matchup by a score of 28-6, and Valley Center's 3 wins, on the other hand, came in the playoffs in 1995 and in the regular season in 2016 and 2017. And tonight will be a very competitive matchup with Hayes High entering tonight's game with a record of 6-2 and Valley Center with a record of 5-3. And there are so many things to look forward to tonight, and we will talk about that here in a moment as we will have the head coach, Tony Crow, on for our pregame coaches interview, as well as team rundowns, starting lineups, and keys to victory. So we'll be back in a moment. This is Hayes High Football on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Lewis Field Stadium on the pregame show as Hayes High gets ready to take on Valley Center. We'll now get you our rundowns of each team, but before we do that, we'll let you know about some games that will be happening as part of the 5A state playoffs, and we'll start in the 5A West. But the first game we'll start with is not part of the playoffs, but it involves Hayes High's crosstown rival, TMP, is starting play in the 2A state playoffs at Larned. It's the first meeting between the two since 2013, and Larned enters that game with a record of 6-2 and TMP with a record of 4-4. And now looking at the games that will be a part of 5A West, another one we'll look at actually took place last night between the 11-seed Mays and 6-seed Goddard. Mays got out to a 31-0 lead at halftime, and Goddard would shut them out in the second half, but it wouldn't be enough as Mays moves on to get the upset win, winning 31-22. And some other games that will be happening tonight, the 1-seeded Cape and Mount Carmel will take on the 16-seed Salina South, and Cape enters that game with a record of 7-1 on a 5-game win streak, with their only loss coming to Wichita Northwest. And Salina South enters that game looking for their first win with a record of 0-8. And the winner of that game will take on the winner of Great Bend, who is traveling to Salina Central tonight. Great Bend is on a 2-game winning streak and beat Garden City last week 35-21. And Salina Central is 6-2 with their losses coming against the 2 Goddard schools, Eisenhower and Goddard. And Mays South is playing host to Bishop Carroll tonight. Bishop Carroll enters that game with a record of 3-5, with all their losses coming against 6A opponents. And Mays South enters that game with a record of 6-2. And then the winner of that one will face the winner of Hutchinson and Wichita West. Hutchinson's 6-2, and they started with a 2-2 record to their season and finished with a 4-game win streak on the regular season. And Wichita West is 3-5, winning They won two of their last 3 after a 1-4 start. And then Hayes High or Valley Center, whoever wins this game tonight, will play the winner of Eisenhower and Andover. Eisenhower lost last week, and that dropped them to the 2 seed, giving Cape in the 1 seed. And Andover is 0-8, and this is the second time Andover and Eisenhower are meeting this season. The first time Eisenhower won 34-0, and then Newton and Liberal are facing each other tonight. This is Liberal's first time hosting the first round of the playoffs since 2017, and Newton enters that game with a record of 3-5. And now looking over at the 5A East, DeSoto is the 1 seed playing host to KC Turner tonight. DeSoto is entering that game with a record of 7-1, and Turner will be 0-8. The two actually met on October 13th, with DeSoto winning that game by a whopping 49-0. And the winner of that game will face the winner of Seaman and KC Washington. KC Washington, all losses, they're 5-3 with all their losses outside of the 5A East, and Seaman is 4-4 with all their wins versus 5A opponents by almost 60 points average on each of them. Mill Valley will be the 4 seed playing host to Topeka West tonight, and Mill Valley is 6-2 on the year with all their losses coming to ranked 6A opponents, and Topeka West comes in with a record of 1-7 on a 2-game losing streak, with their only win against KC Turner. And the winner of that game will face the winner of Leavenworth and Spring Hill. Spring Hill entering that game with a record of 6-2 and they lost their final regular season game to Lewisburg a week ago, and Leavenworth is on a 6-game losing streak after starting 2-0. Emporia travels to Blue Valley Southwest. Emporia is one of 2 teams in the 5A East at 0-8, and Blue Valley Southwest is 7-1 on a 6-game win streak, with their only loss coming against 4A Bishop Miege. Pittsburgh is playing host to Lansing tonight, with Pittsburgh coming in with a record of 5-3 with all their losses to teams outside of their district, and Lansing enters with a record of 4-4, with 2 losses to teams outside the districts, and the other 2 were to DeSoto and Shawnee Heights, which was their first 2 games. And Highland, looking at the final potential matchup, Highland Park plays host to Casey Harmon tonight. Highland Park, this is their first time in a very long time hosting a first-round game in back-to-back years, and Casey Harmon won their final regular season game against St. Mary's Academy last week by a score of 13-0. And then finally, Shawnee Heights will play host to Sumner Academy, and the last time the 2 teams met in the opening round was 2021, which Shawnee Heights won 34-0, and Shawnee's entering this game on a 3-game winning streak, while Sumner Academy started the season 0-3 and finished with a record of 4-4. Now we'll get you our team rundowns. We'll start off with Hayes High, who is entering tonight's game as the 7 seed with a record of 6-2, and they finished 3-1 in WAC play, and they won the outright championship because Great Bend beat Garden City last week, and last week Hayes High beat the Topeka Trojans by a score of 62-33, which is tied for 4th for highest margin of victory in school history. And Hayes played very well in balancing the pass game and the run game on offense, in which Malik Baugh had 3 rushing touchdowns and rested for the remainder of the game afterwards. And Jarek Purdy caught 3 touchdown passes from Carter Graham, and Ian McGuire also had 2 rushing touchdowns of his own, and he led the game in rushing yards with 198. And altogether, Hayes High had 529 yards of offense, and Hayes High will look to start the playoffs with a win for the 3rd year in a row. And now looking over at Valley Center, they enter as the 10 seed with a record of 5-3. Their last game was a loss to Andover Central 35-13, in which the Hornets defense struggled in the first half as they gave up 3 scores in the first half to be down 20-6 going into halftime. Their only first half score was a 3-yard touchdown run by their 1,000-yard rusher at running back Damont Munker. The defense would then come out of the half and give up 2 more touchdowns in the 3rd quarter, and then Valley Center finished off the night with a 10-yard touchdown pass from QB Hank Whaley to fullback Ethan Outley. And they'll put that in the past as they look to get an opening round win for the 2nd year in a row. And last year they were in this game as the 7 seed and beat the Golden Bulls of May South 34-27. So we'll step away one more time for a moment, and when we come back, we'll have our starting lineups as well as our keys to victory. And after that, we should be ready to kick this game off. So we'll be back in a moment. This is Hayes High Football on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We welcome you back to Lewis Field Stadium here on the pregame show, and we'll now get you our starting lineups. We'll start off with Hayes High, and we'll look at the offense first. We'll start off with the offensive front, which features on the exterior, we'll feature freshman Gus Corsair, number 66 on that left side, and then sophomore Cannon Weber, number 72 on the right side. And then the interior for Hayes High is made up of all seniors, with left guard being number 78, Will Lindenberger, center being number 56, Henry Fitzdom, and finishing off is right guard number 50, Caden Bunger. Now looking at Hayes High's backfield, we'll start off with Carter Graham, who had a very great game last week, going 13 for 21 passing for 153 yards and 3 touchdowns, in which all of those were to Jarek Purdy. And he also threw 2 interceptions last week as well and had just 1 carry for 4 yards. And joining him in the backfield will be Malik Baugh, who had 10 rushes for 174 yards for 3 touchdowns last week, as well as 1 reception for just 3 yards. And we will note that he was taken out of the game in the 2nd quarter to rest him for tonight's game. And then also one guy we forgot to mention on the line will be tight end Dawson Reuter, who has been playing basically as an extra blocker all season, but he got his first reception of the season last week, which went for 8 yards. And the wide receiver core will consist of Jonathan Cano, who had 2 receptions for 12 yards last week, but still leads the way in receiving yards and receptions, where he has 35 receptions for 378 yards and 7 touchdowns. And behind him, Jarek Purdy was the star of the offense last week, in which he had 5 receptions for 123 yards and 3 touchdowns. And finally, finishing off the offense for Hayes High will be number 16, Braden Meckel, who had one reception last week for 5 yards, but has been a huge key to this offense all season, racking up 11 receptions for 101 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now looking over at the Hayes High defense, which will pretty much be the same as it's been since the homecoming game against Ulysses. On that left side, we'll feature Tanner Geist, who had 4 assist tackles last week, and next to him will be number 35, Cyrus Johnson, who led the way with 1 tackle, 1 sack, as well as a tackle for a loss last week. And Slade Salmons will finish off that interior of the defensive line as number 63, and had just 3 assist tackles last week, but has led the way up front for the Indians in tackles with 14. And on that right side defensive end will be number 54, Jackson Chartier, who had 2 tackles as well as 1 for a loss last week. And now looking over at Hayes High's linebacker core, which will consist of number 22, Dalton Myers, who had 4 tackles as well as 4 assist tackles as well last week. And making out that middle linebacker spot will be number 45, Wyatt Kirkpatrick, who had 2 tackles last week and has been a huge part of the defense all season. And finishing off will be number 44, Derek Waugh, who had just 1 tackle last week but came in with the assist with 4. And looking at Hayes High's secondary will consist of number 14, Cooper Lindenmeyer, who had an interception last week to give him his 2nd of the season. And going into the safety spot, we'll have at the strong safety spot will be number 28, Dante Junker, who had just 1 tackle and 1 assist last week, but has led the way in tackles for, or is 2nd in tackles for the Hayes High secondary with 19 behind Cooper Lindenmeyer. And in that free safety spot will be number 11, Kamani Jones, who had one tackle and 1 assist last week, just like Dante Junker. And finally, in that right side cornerback spot will be number 21, Johnny Rigler, who had 1 tackle but came in as the leader for assist tackles in the secondary last week with 6. Now we'll look over at Valley Center first at their offense, which their offensive front will consist of 2 seniors. At the left tackle spot will be number 67, Jaden Birmingham, and at the center spot, number 53, Derek Truman. And we'll also have a junior and 2 sophomores. The junior will be the left guard, Jeffrey Stockwell, number 59, and both sophomores will be on that right side with Roman Gage, number 79, at that guard spot, and Braden Heitzman, number 55, at the right tackle spot. And now looking over at the backfield for Valley Center, they're led by quarterback Hank Whaley, who didn't put up much stats last week, going 4 for 17 passing for 44 yards, but did throw a touchdown pass last week, as well as having 6 rushes for 8 yards, but has been a huge key for the run game all season, as he's had 54 carries for 202 yards. But leading the way in rushing for the Hornets is that 1,000-yard rusher we told you about, Daymont Munker, number 1, who last week had the only rushing touchdown for the Hornets on 18 carries for 60 yards. And the tight end for the Hornets will be number 87, Trace Amig, who so far this season has had 3 receptions for 29 yards. And the 2 receivers for the Hornets will be number 21, Sam Eldridge, who had just 1 carry, who didn't catch a pass last week but carried the ball 1 time. And then joining him as well will be number 13, Joseph Knutson, who had so far on this season has 4 receptions for 41 yards. Now looking over at the Valley Center defense, up front they'll feature number 78, Bo Young, on that left side of the defensive as the left side defensive end, has 7 tackles so far on the season, and next to him is number 69, Trey Heitzman, who is 2nd up front of the defensive line for tackles for Valley Center. As a senior, he has 12 tackles, 23 of those being with 23 assists to go with it, and 10 tackles for a loss as well. And also to finish off that interior will be number 68, Noah Chobod, who so far this season has had 7 tackles, but has led the way in also 2nd in assist tackles with 26, as well as getting 3 for a loss. And that on that right side defensive end will be the leader for this defensive front with number 15, Drake Thornton, who has led the way in tackles for the defensive front with 15, as well as getting 27 assist tackles and 5 tackles for a loss to lead that category as well. And looking at the linebackers, it will feature number 3, Colby Newton. The junior leads the whole team in interceptions with 3. And that interior linebacker will be number 87, the tight end, Trace Amig. He plays tight end as well. And he has racked up 14 tackles this season and 3 for a loss, as well as getting 2 interceptions to go with those stats. And that final linebacker will be number 18, Walker Vanderweed, who has 16 tackles on this year as a junior, and has also forced a fumble on the season. And looking at the secondary for the Hornets, on that left side corner will be number 8, Steele Showmaker, who has 28 tackles, as well as 28 assist tackles, and 3 of those going for a loss, and he is the other Hornet defender that has a forced fumble on the season. That strong safety spot will be made up by number 29, Rock Showmaker, who is the 3rd string running back for the Hornets. Has 26 tackles so far in the season, with 33 of those with 33 assists to go with it, as well as 1 interception as well. And in that free safety spot will be number 13, Joseph Knutson, who has 6 tackles on the year and an interception. And finally, number 24, Jonas Schielk will make up that final member of the secondary, as the senior comes into tonight's game with 3 tackles, as well as 7 assists and 1 interception. And finally, to round off tonight's pregame show, we'll give you our key to the game, and it's the same for both teams, and that's going to be to stop the run game. As Valley Center, for them, that is their entire offenses. They average 233.63 rush yards per game for 1,869 total on the season, and only have 429 pass yards overall on the season, giving them just about an average of 50 pass yards per game in that category. And Hayes High, as we mentioned in the pregame open, has a very powerful backfield, which is led by Malik Baugh, Ian McGuire, and Carter Graham. So that'll do it for our pregame show, and when we come back, we will give you our play-by-play of tonight's action, and we'll be back in a moment. This is Hayes High Football on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Well, we welcome you back here to Lewis Field Stadium on the Tribe Broadcasting Network, and it is game time. Valley Center will be receiving the opening kickoffs, so Hayes High will trot out Harley Zimmerman to get ready to send it downfield, and there will be 3 guys back deep for the Hornets. It'll be number 11, Austin Sainer, and number 26, Rylan Bailey, and far on that left side is number 21, Sam Eldridge. So Hayes High will be wearing white helmets with the maroon face mask and the arrow on each side, as well as their jersey and pants will be both gold with the numbers and stripes being maroon. And Valley Center will be all white with the Hornet on one side and the number on the other side. And the numbers and stripes will be purple with the yellow outline. So Hayes High will get ready to send it downfield right now. It is 6:59 as our kickoff time, and currently is 43 degrees out right now with 9-mile-per-hour winds, but that's not what's really going to affect the game tonight. It's going to be the wind chill, which brings it down to feeling like 38 degrees outside. So Hayes High will spread their guys out, and Harley Zimmerman will get ready to send it downfield, and we are underway here at Lewis Field Stadium for the playoffs, and it will be fielded on that left side for the Hornets, and he'll take it to the 20 and go down at about the 25-yard line as well. They'll start it off. So we'll see what the Hornets can make out of this drive, and they are led by their quarterback, Hank Whaleu, who is also joined in the backfield by that 1,000-yard rusher at running back that we talked about on the pregame show, Damont Mucker, who has gotten 1,098 yards on 159 carries this season while racking up 12 touchdowns as well. And the quarterback, Hank Whaleu, does a great job on offense running the ball while not having a touchdown yet. He gets 54 carries for 202 yards, and they'll start out with 2 receivers to the right and 1 receiver to the left. They'll take the snap and fake the handoff, and Whaleu will run up the middle and get stopped right away for just a 2-yard gain, I believe is what they'll mark it as, to the 27-yard line. He faked the handoff, and Hayes High's defense was right there to stop it off that right side with Chartier and Salmons. So that'll make it 2nd down and 8 for the Hornets. And they'll put 1 receiver on each side with that tight end playing on the right side of the line. And Whaley will take the snap and this time hand it off, and it will be a run up the middle by number 29, Rock Showmaker, who will go down at the 30-yard line for a 3-yard pickup. So first 5 yards of the game for the Hornets are through the ground. And Rock Showmaker takes it to the 30-yard line as he got good blocks at first, but Hayes High was able to get through him, and that'll break up 3rd down and 5. And Valley Center hasn't done the greatest on 3rd down, going 28 for 72 at about 39%. And this time they'll put a good amount up front, as well as 2 receivers to that left side, and Hayes High will show blitz with the DBs as Whaley will take the snap, get pressured, get away from 1, and now will throw the ball, and it's caught, and no, it was intended for number 87, Trace Amig, but it went right through his hands as there was a Hayes High defender to bring him down. I believe it was number 14, Cooper Lindenmeyer, that got to him, and that'll bring up out a punting situation for the Valley Center Hornets. Whaley was able to escape the blitz, but it didn't matter as Hayes High was able to get great pass protection and force the punt. As and the punt is blocked, and it'll go over the back of the end zone, and that will be a safety for the Hayes High defense. Dalton Myers got to it and blocked the punt, and that'll make the score 2-0 for the Indians. And that's a way to start the playoffs, as with 10:40 to go, it's 2-0 Indians, and that should be a free kick right here, as the refs will talk it over for a moment. And they will call it a safety, as Hayes High will put up 2 points on the scoreboard. I believe it was Dalton Myers that got to it and blocked it. And that'll be a free kick. As Valley Center will have it at the 20-yard line. Hayes High still talking it over on their sideline. And they're still in the huddle, and Valley Center is already on the field. Not sure who will be kicking it off or punting it for him, and it looks to be number 7 of the Hornets, C.J. Gonzalez, who also plays a little bit at tight end at 6', 190. And back deep for Hayes High as they take the field will be Jarek Purdy and Malik Baugh, just like it is on kick returns, as Valley Center will punt it from the 20-yard line. Hayes High will put 5 up front as well as 3 rows of 2 on the kick return, and it's a line drive punt that is heading towards that Hayes High sideline and will go out of bounds at about the 35. And Hayes High will set up right there with 10:40 to go. And we'll see what they can make out of their offense right here as Carter Graham leads that offense onto the field with Malik Baugh in the backfield, as well as a group of talented receivers such as Jonathan Cano, Jarek Purdy, and Braden Meckel. And I believe they will start it at the 37, and that's just where it'll start. Or, correction, they'll actually put it at the Hayes High will actually get it at the Valley Center 40-yard line, it looks like, or 45, that is, because of the penalty of the kick going out of bounds. So Hayes High will get great field position to start off their first offensive drive, and will put 2 receivers to the left with Meckel and Cano, and then put Purdy on that right side. Let's try to get the defense to jump right there, and here come the flags. It's going to be offsides against the Hornets. I believe it was number 68. They got a head start. Noah Chobod, the second place leader for this Valley Center defense and assist tackles with 26, is the one that's called for the offsides penalty, and that'll bring Hayes High up to the 40-yard line. As Hayes High will keep that same formation, Graham will take the snap and hand it off to Baugh, who will try to get to that outside and will go to the 40, 35, slips through a tackle, goes to the 30, 25, and will be brought down at the 23-yard line. Malik Baugh got the handoff and went to that right side and was able to get some space while also breaking some tackles, and that'll be a first down for the Hayes High offense to the 23-yard line as well. They'll mark him down. And that'll be a 17-yard pickup for Malik Baugh. Hayes High, now Graham will run the ball up the middle after faking the handoff to Malik Baugh, and we'll just get 3 on the carry for the 3. As I believe it was a fake handoff on the play, and that'll just be 2 yards actually, as they'll mark him down at the 21-yard line. And Hayes High will keep the same formation that they've had in the previous plays. Rooters on the left side of the line. Graham will take the snap, hand it off to Baugh, who will run up the middle of the 15, try to juke out a man, and is trying to break through one more tackler, but will go down at the 12-yard line, and that's another first down for the Hayes High offense. As both of Hayes High's first downs have been by Malik Baugh on the ground. They'll mark him down at the 12-yard line, and that's 2 first downs for Hayes High that have been on 17-yard run plays. As that'll bring Baugh up to 34 yards rushing on just 2 carries. McGuire's in the backfield now for the Hayes High offense with 9:30 to go here in the first quarter. So Hayes High will have Jarek Purdy on that right side and Jonathan Cano on that left side. As Graham will take the snap and hand it off to Baugh, who will try to get to that outside as he goes to the 15 and is trying to be dragged down by the Valley Center defense at the 11-yard line. I believe is where they'll mark him down. So just a 1-yard pickup on the play as he was trying to break free, but the linebackers got in and made the stop. I believe it was number 87 of the defense, Trace Amig, that got to him. And they'll actually list it as no gain for Malik Baugh. And that'll make it 2nd down and 10 for the Hayes High offense. As they'll put 2 receivers on that left side and put McGuire in the tight end spot and keep Baugh in the backfield as Graham will take the snap, fake the handoff, and now will roll to the right side and throws it to Dawson Reuter, who has it at the 10 and will be cut down at the 7-yard line for his 2nd reception of the season. He had his first one of the season last week, which went for 8 yards. And as they bring him down, I believe at the 8-yard line they'll mark him down. That'll be a 4-yard reception. And it'll be 3rd down for the Hayes High offense as they'll have 2 receivers to the left as Graham will take the snap and hand it off to Malik Baugh, who goes to the 5 trying to break free, and they'll mark him down at about the 3-yard line as he tried to break through tackles once again but couldn't quite do it. And that will bring up 4th down and short for the Hayes High offense, that is. It'll be a 5-yard pickup for Malik Baugh, and that'll bring up 4th down now for Hayes High, as we'll put 2 receivers, which are Jarek Purdy and Jonathan Cano, on that left side. They look to the sideline and get the call from the coordinators. As Graham is ready, and he'll take the snap, fake the handoff, and will run up the middle, and is going nowhere, and actually loses yardage back to the 4-yard line, I believe, as well to mark him down. So that's a loss of 1 and a turnover on downs for the Hayes High offense. And I believe they'll mark him down at the 4-yard line, and that's exactly where Valley Center will take over with 7:29 to go here in the first quarter. So Valley Center will take the field looking to have a better result than their last drive, where they went 3 and out, which would end up including a block punt. As they're in the huddle right now, as we said, there's 7:29 to go here, as they'll start from the 4-yard line. They'll put 1 receiver on each side. And Whaley will take the snap, and now we'll run the ball to the right and just get 1 yard on the pickup. And actually that's Daymont Mucker who took the direct snap on that play, and be brought down by the DB. I believe that was number 11, Kamani Jones, that brought him down for the 2-yard. It'll be a 2-yard pickup for Valley Center, as Daymont Mucker gets his first carry of the game. And they'll be in the huddle right now, as Hayes High will keep their same offensive front, as Dalton Myers will show blitz on that left side. They'll put 1 receiver on each side, with the tight end on the right side for Valley Center. And they'll take the snap, and we'll hand it off up the middle. It'll be the number 29, Rock Showmaker, I believe, who got the carry there for just 1 yard. And it will be listed as a 1-yard pickup for the Hornets to the 7-yard line. It was actually number 21 on the carry. So that'll be listed as a 1-yard pickup, and make it 3rd down and 7 for Valley Center, as we'll put 1 receiver on each side in the shotgun. Mucker will actually take the direct snap, and will roll to that left side and trying to get that 1st down, and will go out of bounds at the 10-yard line, making him just short. And that'll bring up 4th down once again for Valley Center. And we'll see what they try to do here with 6:08 to go, if they decide to punt it or go for it. They're now 0 for 2 tonight on 3rd down. First one was a pass play, this one a run play. And they'll bring out the punt team to send it downfield, as Jarek Purdy will take the field for Hayes High. And getting ready to send it downfield for the Hornets will be number 7, CJ Gonzalez. And like we just said a moment ago, their last punt was blocked. And it'll be taken and sent downfield, and Jarek Purdy signaling everybody to get away from it, and the Hornets will down it at the 30. It will be number 35 that downs it at the 44-yard line. So once again, Hayes High getting to start in Hornet territory, trying to make something better than their last drive, which ended with a turnover on downs after they failed to convert on 4th down inside the 5-yard line. As they'll start from the 43-yard line. Graham looks to the sideline and get his play call. And he'll take the snap and hand it off to Malik Baugh, who runs a counter to the left side and will be brought down in the backfield back to the 46-yard line, as he couldn't quite find a lane to get through, and that'll be a loss of 3 for the Hayes High offense, as the protection broke down early. As that was Baugh's 5th carry of the game. First one that goes for negative yards, bringing him down to just 36 on 5 carries. As Hayes High will look to the sideline, get their play call. Ian McGuire is in the game right now for the Hayes High offense, and he'll play in that tight end spot. Braden Meckel is on that left side, and Jarek Purdy and Jonathan Cano will be on the right side, as Graham will take the snap and run a QB draw up the middle to the 45-40 to the 35, and it'll be brought down at the 34-yard line, as it was the linebacker that came in and got him. And that'll be a 12-yard pickup and another 1st down, or actually 1 yard shy of the 1st down marker after that 3-yard loss. And that'll make it 3rd down and 1 for the Hayes High Indians. 4:56 to go here in the first quarter. High will keep that same offensive formation as McGuire's on the right side of the line. Graham will take the snap, hand it off to Baugh, who will juke out one man and try to get that last effort in. Will get it, and he'll go down at about the 31-yard line, making that another first down for the Hayes High Indians, and making that their first third down conversion of the game, in which they couldn't get it on that, in which their first one was a 5-yard pickup on the last drive that was just short of the first down marker, as they'll have it at the 31-yard line. And Graham will take the snap and fake the handoff to Baugh. Will load up downfield, has a man, that's Jarek Purdy, and it's caught as he threaded the needle. Touchdown, Hayes High. Jarek Purdy right on the post route to the center of the field, and Hayes High will go up 8-0 with 4:22 to go. And they'll send out Harley Zimmerman to attempt the extra point, as that will be listed as a 31-yard touchdown pass to give Graham his 13th touchdown pass of the season, and leaving off from last week as he completes another pass to Jarek Purdy. As Harley Zimmerman awaits the snap out of the hold of Jonathan Cano. It is down, it is up, and it's a line drive that goes right through. And with 4:22 to go, Hayes High's up 9-0 against the Valley Center Hornets. And we'll see what Valley Center's offense can do and see what Hayes High's defense can do when we come back. This is Hayes High Football on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Following the touchdown pass from Carter Graham to Jarek Purdy, Hayes High will get ready to send it downfield. That drive just took them 1:38 on just 4 plays, with the first 3 being run plays, and then a 31-yard pass to cap it off as Harley Zimmerman gets ready to send it downfield to the 3 Hornets back deep, as they run a different kickoff formation than Hayes High, where they have 5 guys up front and then 2 rows of 3 behind it, as they'll kick it to that left side again. It'll be fielded by Damont Mucker at the 15, and he'll go to the 20, changes direction to the right side of the field, and has a lane as he'll go to the 25, 30, 35, and is met at the 40-yard line by Kamani Jones. And that is where the Hornets will start out this drive, as they try to get something going on their first 2 drives, which featured punts, with one of them being blocked, which was the first one being a safety, so that Hayes High went up 2-0. And they'll look to the sideline and get their play call, as they'll start this drive with 4:12 to go in the first quarter. Hayes High keeping their starters out on defense. As they'll put 1 receiver on each side for Valley Center. They'll take the snap at Owen Mucker, who will go up the middle to the 45, I believe is where they'll mark him down, and that is where they'll mark him down, making that just a 5-yard pickup. As he's taking the snaps tonight, not the quarterback, Hank Whaley. And that was his second carry of the game, giving him 7 yards so far tonight. The Valley Center Hornets also in search of their first down of the game in the huddle right now, with 3:40 to go here in the first quarter. They'll put 1 receiver on each side and play the fullback and the tight end as well, close to the line. Mucker will be taking the snap again, and he'll run up the middle, try to get to that right side, and is brought down in the backfield by number 22 of the Indians. It was Dalton Myers that got to him, and that'll be listed as a 2-yard loss, and another third down for Valley Center. So far tonight, they are 0 for 2 on third down, in search of their first down as well. As Mucker will look to the sideline and get the play calls, we are approaching the 3-minute mark of that first quarter. They'll bring up their line and put 1 receiver on each side and work the fullback Ethan Outley in on that right side. Mucker will take the snap and go to the right, and is looking to throw the ball, and is getting pressured by number 48 Tanner Geist, and now will throw the ball, and it'll be incomplete. And he was back at the 32-yard line and couldn't connect on it. I'm not sure who it was that he tried to throw it to, but either way, it'll be 4th down once again for the Hornets. And Hayes High will send Jarek Purdy back deep to field the punt, as C.J. Gonzalez will get ready to send it downfield for the Hornets. Hayes High will try and bring up some guys to try and block this punt again, and actually they'll play it back this time, as it is a high punt that Jarek Purdy will have to go back to the 25 and is signaling for his guys to get away from it. And it'll be downed at the 31-yard line by number 18, Walker Vanderweed. So that'll be another drive resulting in a punt for the Hornets. And Hayes High will start from the 31-yard line with 2:33 to go here in the first quarter. As they'll look to the sideline and get the play call, Malik Baugh will line up behind Graham, and they'll put twins to the right and one receiver to the left. As Graham will take the snap and hand it off to Malik Baugh, who runs up the middle, gets through some guys, and will believe they'll mark him down at the 35-yard line because of forward progress, and that is will they'll mark him down as he tried breaking through some guys at the end of that play. It'll be listed as a 4-yard pickup, giving him 40 yards so far on the night off of 6 carries. And Hayes High will keep their same formation. The 2 receivers on the right will be Jarrett Purdy and Jonathan Cano, and Brady Meckel will be the one on that left side. As the Hornets will play their linebackers back, and Graham will take the snap, find Brady Meckel on the curl route at the 38-yard line, and it'll be brought down right there. So just a 3-yard pickup there for the Hayes High offense on the curl route to Braden Meckel, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 3 to go. Carter Graham has yet to throw an incompletion so far tonight. He's 3 for 3 for 38 yards. And Hayes High will put trips on that right side, and a penalty flag comes in, and it'll be offsides against the Hornets. And that'll give Hayes High another 1st down. Their 4th of the game, bringing them up to the 43-yard line. And like I just said, they get a fresh set of downs off of that penalty, and they'll keep the same formation on offense. As Graham will take the snap and hand it off to Malik Baugh, who will run to that right side. Will go to the 45, break some tackles, and will go down at the 49-yard line as well. They'll mark him down, making that a 6-yard pickup. As he got some blocks from the right side of the offensive line of the Indians with Caden Bunger and Cannon Weber. And that'll make it 2nd down and 4 from Hayes High's 49-yard line. As we have just 50 seconds to go here in the first quarter, Hayes High has 2. We'll keep that same formation as Graham will take the snap and will fake the handoff and run to that right side and has some space in front of him. He'll go to the 45 and brought down just before he could get, or actually they will mark him down at the 40-yard line, but it doesn't matter as there's a penalty flag on the play. It'll be, as the white cap looks at the other officials, he's signaling holding against Hayes High, and that is what it'll be. And with 41 seconds, Hayes High will have to go back 10 yards to make it 2nd down and 14. And Hayes High will keep that same formation here on 2nd down. As Baugh will line up on the left side of Graham, and he'll take the snap and pretended to throw it to Graham. Pretended to throw it to Baugh, and instead we'll find Jarrett Purdy on that right side, and he'll go to the 45-yard line and be brought down at the 46 as well. They'll mark him down, making that a 7-yard pickup to get back just a little bit of what they lost from that penalty. As Graham has thrown 45 yards passing on 4 completions on 4 attempts. We'll look to the sideline, and as the clock is ticking down, it'll go to 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and Hayes High will take this one to the 2nd quarter as they lead it 9-0 after 1 quarter, and we'll step away for a moment, and when we come back, we'll have our 2nd quarter action. This is Hayes High Football on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Lewis Field Stadium as we get ready to start our 2nd half action. Hayes High will start from their own 46-yard line on 3rd down with 7 yards to go, needing to get to the 47-yard line in Valley Center territory. We'll put 2 receivers on each side, and Graham will take the snap and fake the handoff to Malik Baugh and find Ian McGuire on the screen pass, and he'll go past midfield, but will only get to the 49-yard line, or actually the 48-yard line, as a penalty flag comes in on close to the Valley Center sideline, and the refs will come together to discuss this. Not sure quite what happened. When I looked over at the end of that play, I could see Jarrett Purdy and one of the DBs for the Hornets, number 11, Austin Sainer. As they talk it over, we'll see what they say. and they'll actually wave it off. So they'll go to the Hayes High will get a 6-yard pickup on the play to the Valley Center 48-yard line, making them short of the first down. Hayes High's 1 for 3 on third down so far tonight, and try to get their first fourth down conversion of the night. They're 15 for 25 on the season coming into this game. This will be their first attempt tonight, as Graham will take the steps back and will now send the ball downfield, as there's no one back there to field it, and it'll take some bounces and roll just a little bit past the 20-yard line, and Hayes High will field it at the 18-yard line with 11:29 to go here in the second quarter. As Valley Center will look to get something going on offense. Their first 3 drives have all resulted in punts, and they have yet to get a first down so far in this game, as they are 0 for 3 on third down. And now Hank Whaley, the quarterback, will take the field for the Hornets. Haven't seen much of him so far tonight, as Daymont Mucker has been taking direct snaps so far tonight. And they'll stack the backfield here on first down from the 18-yard line. And it'll be a pitch back to Mucker, who will go to the 20 and try to break through the Hayes High defensive line, and will go out to the 23-yard line, making that a 5-yard pickup. And actually, they'll mark it down at the 22-yard line, making that just a 4-yard pickup, as that was the 4th carry of the game for Mucker. It's just 9 yards so far on the night. And with 11:04 to go here in the second quarter, no one's on that left side for Valley Center, as they'll put one guy on the right side, and now we'll pitch it to Mucker, as he will try to go to that right side, and I think he just gained 2 yards on the carry, as he'll be marked down at the 24-yard line according to that official on the Hayes High sideline, and that'll make it another third down attempt for the Hornets, making it 3rd down and 4. Slade Salmons was the one that got in and made the tackle, and they'll get the play call, and it'll be third down and 4 for the Hornets. They'll put 2 receivers on that left side with Rylan Bailey and Sam Eldridge, and Whaley will fake the snap and throw it to that side, and will complete the pass to Bailey, who will go. Actually, he dropped the ball at the very end, and it'll be listed as an incomplete pass, as it looked to be a completed pass for a moment at the 33-yard line, but that'll make it another punting situation for the Hornets with 10:18 to go here in the second quarter. CJ Gonzalez will get ready to send it back downfield again, and this time going back to field the punt for Hayes High will be number 14, Cooper Lindenmeyer, instead of Jarek Purdy. As Hayes High will play a safe man back, and it'll be a very good punt, as it goes back to the 35, past the 30, and number 4 for the Hornets will be there to down it about the 27-yard line. It's Jackson Lewis that fielded it, and at the 27-yard line, Hayes High will take over. So Hayes High will take over with 10:08 to go here in the second quarter. Last drive resulted in a punt, as they failed to convert on third down off of a 6-yard pass completion to Ian McGuire. And Hayes High will put 1 receiver on each side, as Graham takes the snap and hands it off to Baugh. He'll try to go up the middle, and he actually lost a yard on that play back to the 26-yard line, as he was waiting for a gap to open on that right side, but it didn't. And actually, it'll just be no gain on the play. As Baugh has reached 8 carries so far in the game. Hayes High will put 2 receivers on that left side and 1 on the right. Getting the play call from one of their coordinators, as the play clock ticks down to 21 seconds with 9:32 to go in the second quarter. Graham looks to the right side, and now will take the snap, fake the handoff to Baugh, and drops back to pass, and try to throw it to Braden Meckel, but great pass protection on there, and a penalty flag comes in at the very end of the play. It was defended by number 24, Jonas Schiekel, who has been a key part of the secondary for the Hornets, as he's gotten 1 interception so far in the season, and we'll see what the flag is as they talk things over. A lot of people assuming it's going to be pass interference against Schiekel, as Valley Center's fans are expressing their disagreement with the call. And Hayes High will move up to the 42-yard line. So that is a 15-yard penalty and another fresh set of downs for Hayes High. It's their second straight one to come off of a penalty. And now they'll put trips on that right side and leave no one on the right side, or trips on the right side and leave no one on the left side. As Graham takes the snap and hands it off to Baugh, who will run to that left side and go to the 45-50, tries to break away from one and will, and go to the 45-yard line as well. They'll mark him down. Hayes High didn't put anyone on that right side, and Malik Baugh was able to find some gaps and take it up to the 45-yard line for a 13-yard pickup and another first down for Hayes High. Their sixth first down of the game. 59 yards so far in the game for Malik Baugh as he brings it into Valley Center territory. They'll look to the sideline, go with that same, Hayes High will go with that same formation as Graham will take the snap, fake the handoff to Baugh, and now we'll drop back to throw with great protection. And now we'll load up downfield, intended for Jarrett Purdy again, and it is right through his hands as he was lit up at the very end of that play by number 8 of the Valley Center secondary, Steele Showmaker. Jarrett Purdy got hit pretty hard on the end of that play as he had the ball for a second, but as he got hit, he couldn't hold on to it. And that'll make it second down and 10, as that is Graham's first incompletion of the game. Hayes High looks to the sideline to get their play call. And they'll go with 2 receivers on the right and put Dawson Reuter on the line to that left side. So Graham will take the snap, fake the handoff to Baugh, who ran to that left side. And Graham will take it to the 45-40 and will go down at about the 36-yard line, making that 1 yard shy of the first down. And that'll make it third down and 1. Graham's 4th carry of the game. Second biggest carry, as his largest was for 12 yards, and that brings it up to 22 so far in the night. As it'll be third down and 1. He'll be joining the backfield with McGuire and Baugh, and we'll hand it off to Baugh to that left side, and he'll get the first down to the 34-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, but it's enough for the first down. And Hayes High has their 7th first down of the game, as they'll go from the 34-yard line with 8:15 to go here in the second quarter. Reuter comes back into the game, and they'll put Braden Meckel on the right side and Jonathan Cano on that left side for the receivers, so 1 on each side. And once again, Graham will be joining the backfield with Baugh and McGuire, as he'll take the snap and hand it off to McGuire, who runs to that right side, and will get some jukes, and we'll go to the 30-yard line, and another penalty flag comes in. Not quite sure what it was, as it hit the ground once McGuire hit the ground. And we'll see, and it'll be holding against Hayes High. So that'll send him back a few yards to the 44. As Hayes High will actually, they'll put it at the 42-yard line this time, making that just an 8-yard loss from the penalty, as they had it at the 34 on the previous play. And they'll look to the sideline. It'll just be Baugh this time in the backfield, as Hayes High will put Cano and Cosgriff this time on the left side and put Brady Meckel on the right side. And Graham will take the snap, and hand it off to Malik Baugh, who will be dropped for a 1-yard pickup on the carry. A lot of people thought he lost a yard, but instead it'll just be 1 yard to the 41-yard line and make it second down. So second and 17 now for the Hayes High offense, trying to make up for that holding penalty that set them back 8 yards to the 42-yard line. As Hayes High is looking to the sideline and get their play call, they'll keep that same formation, except Cosgrove comes out of the game and Purdy comes back in. 15 seconds on the play clock, as Graham will take the snap, fake the handoff to Baugh, and will drop back, and will try to throw to that right sideline, and it was intended for Braden Meckel, but overshot him too far out of bounds, and that'll bring it third down and 17 for the Indians, making Graham 5 for 7 so far on the night. So third and 17 from the 41-yard line for Hayes High. 1 for 3 on third down so far tonight. And they'll put Jonathan Cano and Braden Meckel on that right side and leave Jarrett Purdy alone to that left side. Baugh will line up behind Graham, and Reuter will be on that left side of the line as Graham will hand it off to Baugh as he runs to that left side. And he tried to get some blocks at the very end and will be dragged down at the 39-yard line. And that'll make it 4th down for Hayes High. And we'll see what they try to do right here. So they'll have it at the 39-yard line. We'll see if they decide to go for it or not. They have not have attempted just one 4th down conversion so far in this game that they failed to get. And like I said a little bit ago, entering this game, they are 15 for 25 for 60, going 60% on 4th down. As Graham will be in the backfield, but he could take the few steps back and punt it downfield, and he will take those 2 steps, and he'll kick it pretty high, and it starts to go towards the goal line. And Hayes High's got Jonathan Cano right there, and it'll roll a little bit and be down at the 2-yard line as Meckel and Cano tried to fan it a little more to go downfield. The Hornets will start at their own 2-yard line with 5:59 to go until the half. And last drive for Valley Center ended in a punt after getting 6 yards on 2 rushing attempts. They would then throw an incomplete pass, and they'll send the quarterback Hank Whaley back onto the field, as well as running over there with him is the wide receiver number 21, Sam Eldridge. Hayes High keeping their starters out there on the field for the defense, as they'll put one receiver on the left side for the Hornets. Whaley will take the snap and hand it off, and it'll be no gain on the play by number 26, Rylan Bailey. And I actually think they're going to list it as a 1-yard pickup. So on his first carry, he gets 1 yard, just like number 21, Sam Eldridge. And it'll be 2nd and 9 for the Hornets as they keep that same formation as they try to get away from the wall. Whaley will fake the pitch, and now will throw the ball to that right side and overshoot his man. It was number 31 who he was trying to hit, the fullback Ethan Outley. And Whaley's now 0 for 3 on his passing so far tonight, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and 9. Dante Yunker was on the defense for the Indians. It'll be 3rd down and 9 for the Hornets from their own 3-yard line. See what they can do right here. We'll remind you they are 0 for 3 so far on 3rd down tonight, trying to get their first down as well. And they'll put one receiver on each side, put the tight end on the left side of the line, and Mucker will be in the backfield with Whaley as he takes the snap, and we'll get a 2-step drop, and we'll load up deep downfield trying to hit Mucker on the pass, and he will at the 35-40, breaks the tackle and go past midfield to the 40, 35-30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Valley Center, and that'll be a 97-yard touchdown play as it's their first 3rd down conversion as well. And the Hornets cut down the lead to just 3, 2 and maybe 2 with the extra point right here. C.J. Gonzalez, who has not missed an extra point attempt so far this season, will get ready to it'll be out of the hold of Connor Meyer, the QB, the backup QB, that is. It'll be listed as a 97-yard pass play for the Hornets on their first 3rd down conversion. They cut the lead down to just 2, and we'll see what Hayes High can do with 5 minutes to go, and we'll be back in a moment. This is Hayes High Football on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. After 4 straight drives that ended in punts on a 3-play drive, Valley Center, it just took them 55 seconds to get their first points on the board off of a 97-yard touchdown pass from Hank Whaley to Daymont Mucker. And they'll get ready to send it downfield to Jarrett Purdy and Malik Baugh. Sending it downfield will be number 7, C.J. Gonzalez, who attempted that extra point just a moment ago, as it is a pooch kick, but will be taken by Baugh at the 13-yard line, and he'll go to that right side to the 15, 20, 25, 30, try to break a tackle, and will go down at about the 33-yard line. So Hayes High will start this drive with 4:54 to go here in the second quarter, as they'll start it from their own 33-yard line. Hayes High's last drive resulted in a punt after running downfield on 8 plays with two being called off due to penalties. And now McGuire and Baugh will once again line up in the backfield with Graham, as he'll take the snap and hand the ball off to McGuire, who will run to that right side. And I think they were running a penalty from the Valley Center fans were wanting a penalty from Hayes High, but they're not going to get it, as Baugh will take the carry for a 3-yard gain to the 36-yard line. Malik Baugh 65 yards rushing so far tonight on 12 attempts, and we got a Hayes High player down. Not quite sure who it is. It looks to be number 56, the senior center, Henry Fitzdom, who's down right now. So we'll step away as they take a look at him, and we'll be back in a moment. This is Hayes High Football on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Lewis Field Stadium following the injury timeout for Henry Fitzdom and the 3-yard run by Malik Baugh. So now coming in to take the spot of Henry Fitzdom will be number 58, Israel Zimmerman, he'll be moved to that left guard spot, and that'll put Gus Corsair as the center now. Israel Zimmerman is wearing number 58, the sophomore at 5'7" and 200 pounds. And now Hayes High will get their offense going as Graham takes the snap and will hand it off to Baugh, who will go on that right side. And another penalty flag comes in, and I think this will be a loss for Hayes High, as there might have been some holding on that play. I believe they're going to call it on Cannon Weber there. And that penalty will set him back 10 yards once again to the 26-yard line, as one of the officials will move it back. That is where Hayes High will go now, following the penalty. As Hayes High will put trips to the left and one receiver to the right, as it'll be Malik Baugh in the Wildcat formation taking the snap. McGuire's lined up right next to him, and he bobbled the snap, and and I think Baugh was able to jump back on top of it. But either way, it'll be a loss back to the 22-yard line, making that a loss of 4 on the play. Or actually, the ref will mark it down at the 23-yard line, so it's just a 3-yard loss for Malik Baugh, who just dove back on top of it. And as Hayes High looks to the sideline to get their play call here, it'll be 3rd down. After starting this drive from the 33-yard line, they'll now have it at the 23, so it'll be 3rd down and 20. So far tonight, Hayes High is just 1 for 3 on 3rd down attempts. As they look to the sideline, as the play clock goes down to 10, I think they're going to try and get a timeout here, as the clock is now at 3:30, as the game clock's now at 3:38. And that is what they'll do, is it's ticking down to just 1 second, and a timeout comes in. So Hayes High will have it 3rd down and 20 from their own 23-yard line when we come back. This is Hayes High Football on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Following the timeout, it'll be 3rd down and 20 for the Hayes High offense, as they will have it at their own 23-yard line after starting off the drive with a 3-yard pickup, then a penalty that set them back 10 yards, and then a loss of 3 due to a muff snap by Malik Baugh. Hayes High will have it at the 23, and Graham will be taking the snap this time, as he's joined in the backfield by Baugh and McGuire. Hayes High will go with twins to the right side and one to the left, as Graham will fake this handoff, and now will throw it. After faking the handoff to McGuire, he'll throw it to McGuire, and he'll go to the 30, 35, 40, 45 past midfield, has some blockers in front of him to the 35, 30, 25, 20, tries to cut back at the 20, and will go down at about the 16-yard line. What a play by the Hayes High offense. They'll mark him down at the 15-yard line, making that a 62-yard pickup. And on the screen pass, Hayes High will get another 1st down. Yes, Hayes High will have it 1st down and 10 from their own from the Valley Center 15-yard line. Hayes High is now 2 for 4 on 3rd down, and that was their 8th 1st down of the game. And a timeout, it will be called by Valley Center, as their head coach, Scott LeCoyer rushed to the ref on his sideline to call the timeout. And with 3:10 to go until halftime, we'll step away, and we'll be back in a moment. This is Hayes High Football on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Lewis Field Stadium following the Valley Center timeout. Hayes High will have it 1st and 10 from the Valley Center 15-yard line with 3:10 to go until we reach halftime. And they'll put twins to the right side and one receiver to the left. And Graham will take the snap and fake the handoff to Baugh and will run up the middle and broke through one tackler and another. And the third one will be the charm that brings him down at the 14-yard line, making that a 1-yard pickup. I'm assuming that was a QB option by Graham, as he had space up the middle, but it broke down quickly. On his that was his 5th carry of the game, as he has 23 yards rushing now. As Hayes High will have it 2nd and 9 from their own 14-yard or from the Valley Center 14-yard line. Graham will take the snap and hand it off to Baugh, who will run to that left side and broke through a couple tacklers and will be brought down at the 12-yard line. So that'll make it 3rd down and 7 now for the Hayes High offense. Like I just said a second ago, they are 2 for 4 on third down tonight, with 1 of each on a run play and a pass play. As they look to the sideline to get their play call, they'll put Cano and Purdy on that right side and leave Meckel on the left side all by himself. Ball will line up behind Graham, as Graham will take the snap and fake the handoff, and now will roll to the right side and got pressured and throws a screen pass to McGuire, who broke through one tackler and will go to the 5 and dive to the end zone. Did he get in? Yes, he did. Touchdown, Hayes High. On the screen pass, Graham rolled to the right side and found McGuire, and as he juked at him at the 5-yard line, took it in, and Hayes High will go up 15-7 with 1:49 to go. As Harley Zimmerman goes out to attempt the extra point, that'll be listed as a 12-yard pass completion to Ian McGuire. So both of Hayes High's touchdowns have been off of passes. The first one was to Jarrett Purdy on the 4th overall drive of the game, and Zimmerman's kick will go up and right through the middle, and Hayes High's up 16-7 with 1:49 to go until we reach halftime. So we'll step away as they talk things over and get ready for the next drive. This is Hayes High Football on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Following the 3-minute and 5-second drive by Hayes High that went for 6 plays, it is capped off by a 12-yard touchdown pass from Carter Graham to Ian McGuire, and Harley Zimmerman getting ready to set it downfield to the 3 Hornets back deep. As like we just said before break, there's 1:49 to go until we reach the half, and we'll have our halftime show once that clock is all zeros. So Zimmerman is ready to send it downfield, and it's a pretty line drive as he goes to that right side for the Hornets, and it'll go to the 15, changes, and it'll go to the 20, 25, and now they'll change direction, and it'll go to the 28-yard line, and that's Valley Center will start off this drive. Their last one was their only scoring drive, which took them 3 plays after a 1-yard run play and an incompletion. It was capped off by a 97-yard pass play, and they'll try and create more fireworks right here, as they'll start from their own 30-yard line. Waylu leads the offense back onto the field. So far in this game, he is only 1 for 4 passing, and that only completion was the touchdown pass we just talked about a second ago. They'll put 1 receiver on each side. Myers will go to that left side to help Kamani Jones, and Waylu will take the quarterback option, and he's met in the backfield by number 48, Tanner Geist, and it'll be listed as a 4-yard loss back to the 26-yard line. Or actually, it'll be a 3-yard loss to the 27-yard line, as that'll be Waylu's 2nd carry of the game. As the clock will go down to 1:17 to go. Valley Center looks to the sideline and get their play call. And they'll put 1 receiver on that left side and leave no one on the right side. Waylu will take the snap and pitch it to Mucker, who will go to the 25, break some tackles and go to the 30, 35, 40, has a lane in front of him, and he'll be brought down, pushed out of bounds right at midfield for a 23-yard pickup. He's been the main part of the ground game so far tonight for the Hornets, as that's his 7th carry and his biggest carry of the night. Previous one was just 5 yards on his 2nd carry, and on a 50-yard pickup, it brings him up to 62 yards on 7 carries. And they'll put 1 receiver on each side this time, as Whaley will be joined in the backfield by the fullback, and now he'll load up deep downfield and trying to hit his man. It's number 21, Sam Eldridge, who was the intended target, but he overshoots him at the 15-yard line, and that'll make it 2nd down and 10 now for the Hornets. As they'll talk it over, 48 seconds to go in the huddle. Mucker and Eldridge still trying to get back. Whaley's just 1 for 5 so far on the game, passing the ball. And in the shotgun, he'll take the snap and look to that left side and trying to hit Mucker, and he'll have to slide down, but I think it's going to be listed as an incomplete pass, and it will as it hit the turf, and he had to dive backwards to get it at the 32-yard line, and that'll stop the clock with 43 seconds to go and make it 3rd down and 10 for the Hornets. Valley Center 1 for 4 on 3rd down so far tonight. That conversion was the touchdown play, and I believe we're going to get a timeout by Valley Center, and that is what it will be called, as they'll talk things over with 42 seconds to go. We'll step away as well. This is Hayes High Football on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Following the Valley Center timeout, they will take over. They will have it at midfield on 3rd down and 10 with 42 seconds to go until we reach the half, and they're 1 for 4 on 3rd down so far in this game, as Whaley will take the snap and we'll go back to throw, and we'll find it his tight end, Trace Amig, and he'll be brought down at the 44-yard line, making him 4 yards short of the 1st down, as that's the 2nd pass completion of the game for Whaley and the 1st reception of the game for Amig. Will be listed as a 6-yard pickup to the 44-yard line. And I believe Hayes High called a timeout, and they did. So we'll step away once again as they talk things over, and it'll be 4th down and 4 when we come back with 32 seconds to go. This is Hayes High Football on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Following the Hayes High defensive timeout, it'll be 4th down and 4 for the Hornets from the Hayes High 44-yard line, and I believe they will try and go for it right here as the quarterback will come back onto the field. And this has been the strong suit for Valley Center's offense this season. They come in going 9 for 12 on 4th down, and this is their 1st attempt of the game, and I think we actually got another timeout from Hayes High once again. We'll get you a stat update on some players, which we will talk about in the halftime shows. We'll keep it right here. On this drive so far, the Hornets have picked up 20 rushing yards and 6 pass yards, as Whaley's 1 for 2 so far on this drive. And like we just said a second ago, they are 9 for 12 on 4th down entering this game as their offense comes back onto the field. And Hayes High still in their huddle as the refs will talk to each other for a little bit. And I believe the punter for the Trojans, or the Hornets, is coming onto the field. It's CJ Gonzalez, and Hayes High will send Cooper Lindenmeyer back deep to field the punt. CJ Gonzalez getting ready to punt it downfield, and I think we actually got another timeout. Or it's actually an official's timeout this time, as CJ Gonzalez took the snap to punt it downfield. Not quite sure what it was that they wanted to talk about, but I guess I will put some substitutions in and bring Lindenmeyer up and send Jarek Purdy back downfield. And now we should get to the punt right here, as from the Hayes High 44-yard line, Valley Center will punt it downfield, and it'll be a pretty high snap, and Hayes High almost got to it to block it, and it'll be a pretty high punt as it goes towards their sideline and goes out of bounds right at the 20-yard line. So after four plays, it'll be 1st and 10 for Hayes High from their own 21-yard line, I believe is where they marked it out of bounds at, and that is where they marked it out of bounds at. So we'll see if Hayes High just decides to kneel it down. Valley Center did get the ball to start the game, so Hayes High will get the ball to start the second half. And I believe they will try and just run the clock out here. And Hayes High will have McGuire and Baugh line up in the backfield with Graham, as Baugh will take the snap and run to the right right side and broke one tackle and will go up to the 27-yard line, and I believe he got 1 extra yard at the end of that play for a 7-yard pickup altogether. And I think they will mark him down at the 28-yard line as the clock ticks down to just 6 seconds, and Hayes High will more than likely take this to halftime. And I think that is just what they'll do, as the clock is all zeros now. So after a first half which featured a combined 7 punts for both teams, we have reached the half with Hayes High leading 16-7. So we'll step away for a moment, and when we come back, we will have our halftime show where we will give you a recap of the first half as well as team and individual stats and get you an update on some scores around the state. So we'll be back in a moment. This is Hayes High Football on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Lewis Field Stadium, as we will now start the halftime show. We'll start off by giving you a recap of the first half. It started with Valley Center getting the ball and going 3 and out, but then Hayes High would get their first points of the game as Dalton Myers blocked a punt, which would end up being a safety, and then Hayes High would run a 7-play drive. The very next drive that it resulted in a turnover on downs, and then Valley Center would punt the ball once again, going 3 and out, and Hayes High would get their first points of the game on their very next drive after 4 plays. After 3 running plays, Carter Graham found Jarek Purdy, and they left off right where they were last week, as it was a 31-yard pass completion for a touchdown. And then Valley Center would go 3 and out once again, which would start 4 straight drives for both teams, two for each team that would result in a punt. And then finally, Valley Center would get on the board after just picking up a 1-yard run play and then an incomplete pass, would complete a 97-yard pass from the quarterback Hank Whaley to the running back number 1, Daymont Mucker. But then Hayes High would respond with a touchdown of their own on a 6-play drive that was capped off by a 12-yard pass completion to Ian McGuire. And then Valley Center would run a 4-play drive that would result in a punt. And then Hayes High would run a 7-yard run play to finish off the half. And now we'll take a look at some individual and team stats. And we'll first look at Hayes High's passing and receiving. So far, Carter Graham is 7 for 9 passing the ball while getting 2 touchdowns and racking up 125 yards altogether. And looking at his receivers, Jarek Purdy has 1 touchdown on 38 with 38 yards on 2 receptions. And Ian McGuire is leading the way in receiving yards with 90 on 3 completions, which includes that 12-yard touchdown. And then Braden Meckel had a 3-yard receiving touchdown, or actually just a 3-yard, 1 reception that went for 3 yards, and then Dawson Reuter had 1 reception for just 4 yards. And now looking over at Hayes High's rushing stats, Malik Baugh leading the way there on 14 carries for 64 yards. Ian McGuire has 1 carry of his own for just 7 yards, and Carter Graham has had 5 carries that have resulted in 23 yards altogether. Now looking over at Valley Center's halftime stats, their quarterback Hank Whaley has not done a great job throwing the ball. He's 2 for 7, but has been able to get 1 touchdown while getting 103 yards altogether. And his receivers that have caught the ball were Daymont Mucker on that huge touchdown play for 97 yards, and the tight end number 87 for the Hornets, Trace Amig, for just 6 yards. But it's been their running game tonight where they picked up 38 yards there with they've had 62 or Daymont Mucker picked up 62 yards on 7 carries, and Hank Whaley has -1 yards on 2 carries, which his first carry went for a +2, and his last one went for a loss of 3. And the other players to pick up yardage include the running back number 3, Rock Showmaker, as well as number 21 of the Hornets, that's Sam Eldridge, who has 1 carry for 1 yard, and also along with him is Rylan Bailey, who has 1 carry for 26 yards. Now we'll look over at team stats when we come back here in a moment. As well, we'll also get you some scores around the state, so we'll be back in a moment. This is Hayes High Football on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Lewis Field Stadium on the halftime show, we will now give you our halftime team stats, and we'll start off with time of possession. Hayes High is leading the way there as they've had the ball for 15 minutes and 24 seconds, meaning the Hornets have had it for just 8 minutes and 36 seconds. So far, Hayes High is 2 for 4 on third down conversions tonight with two attempts each on the run and the pass, and then 1 conversion each on the run and the pass. And so far for Valley Center, they are 1 for 4 on third down conversions, with their only conversion off that big pass play. And Hayes High is the only team to attempt a 4th down conversion, and they're 0 for 1 there. And so far, Hayes High has picked up 8 first downs, and Valley Center just 1. Both teams are perfect on PATs. Hayes High 2 for 2, and Valley Center 1 for 1. And lastly, looking at yards, Valley Center has 66 rush yards as well as 103 pass yards, giving them 169 altogether. And looking at Hayes High, they've gotten 99 yards through the ground and 125 through the air, giving them 224 yards altogether. And we'll start the game back up in a second, but we'll let you know about some games that are happening around the state right now, starting in the 5A East. And pretty much on each side of the bracket, aside from Great Bend leading Salina Central 17-6, it's been all of the higher seeds. As we'll start in the 5A East, DeSoto leads Casey Turner at the half 36-0. And actually, there's all the higher seeds are winning right now, except in both of the 9 and 8 games, as Seaman leads Casey Washington 13-6. And then below that, Mill Valley leads Topeka West at the half 42-0. And Spring Hill has the same score as Mill Valley as they lead Leavenworth 42-7. And Blue Valley Southwest leads Emporia at the half 34-0. And the last score we were able to get out of the 5A East is Pittsburgh leading Lansing 14-7. And now looking over at the 5A West, Capon leads Salina South at the half 49-7. And Great Bend leads Salina Central 17-6 as the winner of those two will meet each other. And Mays South leads Bishop Carroll at the half 27-7. Hutchinson's leading Wichita West 14-6. And Eisenhower's leading Andover 21-6 as the winner of tonight's game will meet the winner of that game. And finally, Liberals beating Newton at the half 20-0. And then finally at the half, TMP leads Larned 8-0, trying to pull off the huge upset there. And finally, before final part of our halftime show, we will let you know about things that are happening for this upcoming week. State cross country will be competing. The cross country team will be competing at state tomorrow in Lawrence, with Tavian Maupin being the lone representative for the boys team, and the girls will have 10 runners representing, which includes Brenlin Albers, Ava Biggs, Carly Crispin, Kara Cunningham, Bryn Kinderknecht, Kinley Kinningsman, Airly Maldonado, Addison Audie, Julia Zadina, and Mika Zimmerman. And then finally, this is next Friday, if necessary, we will note, on November 3rd, will be the second round of state football against either Eisenhower or Andover if Hayes High wins tonight. But if Eisenhower loses, the game will be here in Hayes. And if Eisenhower wins, Hayes High will make the trip down to Goddard. So that'll do it for our halftime show. And when we come back, we will have our second half action. This is Hayes High Football on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Lewis Field Stadium, we are ready to start the second half action of tonight's game. As Hayes High leads at 16-7, they will receive the opening kickoff for the second half, as Valley Center received the opening kickoff to start the game. So Hayes High in their huddle right now, talking things over, as CJ Gonzalez for the Hornets gets ready to send it downfield. Hayes High will keep that same group back deep of Jarek Purdy and Malik Baugh, while also in front of them is Ian McGuire and Jonathan Cano. Gonzalez is ready, and so is his team. Hayes High will keep their same kickoff formation of 5 up front and 3 rows of 2 behind it. And it'll be an onside kick, and Hayes High got it, and there's a penalty flag at the end of the play. Dalton Myers jumped on top of it, and not quite sure what it was, as it occurred at the end of the play. And the rest will gather at midfield to talk things over, which is where the ball was fielded. And the penalty came in from the ref on the Valley Center sideline, so not quite sure what it was. Landed on the Hayes High 46-yard line. So this could go against either team here. As they talk things over, this could be anything. It could. As they're continuing to talk things over, Hayes High's already got their offense on the field, and Valley Center's already got their defense on the field. As the refs come out of the huddle, we'll see what the head referee says, and they will wave off the flag. So Hayes High will take over at midfield, as their last drive, which was the one that took us to halftime, they picked up 7 yards rushing, which, like I just said, took them to halftime. But their previous one was a six-play drive that resulted in a 12-yard touchdown pass to Ian McGuire, and they'll try to recreate something like that on this drive. As Hayes High will put 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Ball will line up in the backfield with Graham, and Reuter will be on the left side of the line. Graham will take the snap and hand it off to Baugh. He'll go up the middle, juke out a few guys, and now will go up to the 45-yard line is where he'll go down. So that's a 5-yard pickup, as he juked out some guys at the beginning of the play and then was able to drag some Hornets down to the 45-yard line. It'll be a 5-yard pickup as it was Baugh's 15th carry of the game. He has 69 yards rushing so far. And like we said during the halftime show, all of Hayes High's touchdowns have been through the air, one to Jarrett Purdy and one to Ian McGuire. Hayes High looks to the sideline. They'll put 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. The Hornets will show blitz from that right side as Graham will hand it off to Baugh, who will run to that right side and will be dragged down in the backfield by I believe that's number 16 of the Hornets that got, or actually it's number 15, Drake Thornton, that got to him. The leading tackler of that defensive front, who came in with 15 on the night, or 15 on the season, that is. And Hayes High will have it 3rd down and 7, following a 5-yard pickup on the first play and a loss of 2 on that last play. Hayes High so far in this game 2 for 4 on 3rd downs. As they'll put keep that same formation of 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Graham will take the snap and will drop back to throw. Now we'll run the ball up the middle, so he'll go to the 45-40 and pick up the 1st down. And he'll go to the 35, maybe brought down at the 34-yard line to give Hayes High their 9th first down of the game and 3rd down conversion of the game. They'll mark him down at the 34-yard line, which will mark that as a 13-yard pickup. Making that Graham's biggest rush of the night, as he's had 6 carries to go for 36 yards, and Baugh will take the ball this time, so he'll go to the 30 and try to break through a few tacklers at the very end of the play and go down at the 29-yard line. So he's reached 16 carries on the game now, 74 yards rushing. Hayes High will have it in Valley Center territory at the 29-yard line, looking to the sideline to get their play call. And now they'll put the Twins to the right side and leave Braden Meckel by himself on that left side with Cano and Purdy on the right side. Graham will take the snap and hand it off to Ian McGuire, who will run up to that left side. And he might have lost a yard on the play, and I think he actually lost 2 that time to the 31-yard line. And that'll make it 3rd down and 7 for the Hayes High offense. Looking to convert here on 3rd down once again. McGuire hasn't gotten as many carries as he usually does tonight. He's only gotten 2, and he's had 5 yards 5 yards on 2 carries tonight. As we have just about 9 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Hayes High leads at 16-7. We'll keep that same formation. Reuter will be on that left side of the line as Graham will take the snap and hand it off to Malik Baugh, who will go up the middle and trying to get an extra charge at the end of that play. He'll be marked down at the 28-yard line, making that a 3-yard pickup, not enough for the 1st down. And that'll bring up 4th down. Hayes High 3 for 6 on 3rd down, and now might try their first 4th down conversion as they are at the 28-yard line. Graham will, and Hayes High gets a player to jump off sides there for Valley Center. It's number 78, I believe, that jumped, and it's Bo Young that jumped at the end of that play. And that'll be a 1st down for Hayes High. So it was 4th down and 4. They'll get the 4th down conversion off of the penalty. And that's their 10th 1st down of the game. As they'll have it at the 23-yard line. Graham will take the snap and hand it off to Baugh, who'll go to the 15 and try to get to the 10-yard line as he tried to break through that last tackler. It was number 8, Steele Showmaker, that brought him down. And they'll mark him down at the 11-yard line. So that's a 12-yard pickup there from Malik Baugh. As Hayes High will put 2 receivers on that right side. Baugh will get the handoff once again and will go to that left side this time as he tries to break through one last tackler and get shoved out of bounds at the 8-yard line. And that'll be listed as a 3-yard pickup, as Hayes High's gotten all their positive yardage, aside from the 5-yard penalty on this drive, has been through the ground. That last carry brings Baugh up to 92 yards rushing in this game. Hayes-High will look to the sideline and get their play call with 7:50 to go, 7:52 to go here in the third quarter. Hayes-High gets ready, and Graham will take the snap and hand it off to Baugh, who will go up the middle to the 5, and we brought down at the 3-yard, or actually the 4-yard line, as he was tripped up as he cut back up the middle. But that'll make it third down and short for Hayes-High. I believe it's actually going to be third down and 3rd and 2 from the 3-yard line, or 4-yard line, that is. As Hayes-High will look to the sideline and get their play call. Jarek Purdy and Jonathan Cano on that right side as Graham will hand it off to Malik Baugh, who runs up the middle, breaks the tackle at the very end of the play and goes in the end zone. Touchdown, Hayes-High. Malik Baugh got the call once again, took it up the middle and broke through a tackle at the end of the play, and Hayes-High will go up 22-7 with 7:13 to go. And Harley Zimmerman will come out once again to attempt the extra point. He's been perfect so far tonight, so has Valley Center's kicker as well, as that was Hayes-High's first rushing touchdown of the game. Zimmerman's ready, so is Cano to hold it, and it's a fake now, and Jonathan Cano will throw it to that left side, and it's caught by number 45, Wyatt Kirkpatrick, and he gets the 2-point conversion to give Hayes-High the 24-7 lead, but a penalty flag will come in, and it's offsides against the Hornets, and Hayes-High will get the 2-point conversion as the penalty was declined and go up 24-7 with 7:13 to go here in the third quarter. So we'll step away once again and see what comes about on this next drive. This is Hayes-High football on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. And we welcome you back to Lewis Field Stadium as the penalty, because of the offsides penalty against Valley Center, everyone thought that Hayes-High declined it and got the 2-point conversion, but instead they will have to replay the down, except this time they'll be a little bit closer, and this time they won't come out in the field goal formation, and this time it'll be Carter Graham that comes out to take the snap, and he'll be joined in the backfield by Malik Baugh and Ian McGuire, as Graham will hand it off to Baugh, and he'll take it up the middle for the 2-point conversion, and now Hayes-High's up 24-7 with 7:13 to go here in the third quarter. So we'll step away once again as they will talk things over and get ready for the next drive. This is Hayes-High football on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. After an 10-play drive by the Hayes-High offense, it was capped off by a 4-yard touchdown run by number 6 Malik Baugh, and it took them 4 minutes and 47 seconds. And they'll be ready to send it. They'll get ready to send it downfield now as Harley Zimmerman places the ball, and the Hornets will keep their same kick return formation of the 5 guys up front and then the 2 rows of 3. Zimmerman will talk it over with his guys because of that touchdown and 2-point conversion on 21 carries so far tonight. Malik Baugh has 98 yards rushing with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to go with it as Harley Zimmerman sends it downfield towards the Hayes-High sideline. It takes a bounce and goes out of bounds at the 13-yard line, and there come the penalty flags. And Hayes-High will, or Valley Center will start off at their own 35-yard line as they bring their offense back onto the field since the first time since the 1 minute and 49 mark of the second quarter. They'll set up at the 35-yard line. And that last drive that they had, the ball resulted in a punt after 4 plays. And they'll spread their guys out as they'll put one receiver to that left side, which is Sam Eldridge, and keep the backfield stacked up as Whaley will take the snap, take the pitch. Now we'll load up and try to find Eldridge downfield, and the pass is broken up, and the penalty flags come in as Kamani Jones was on the defense right there and got in the way of Sam Eldridge. The penalty flags came in at about the 35-yard line, and it'll be 15 yards on a first down for the Hornets. And that's just their second first down of the game. The first one was off of a run play on their previous offensive drive that was a 23-yard pickup. And that penalty is 15 yards. It'll move him up to the 50-yard line. And they'll put one receiver. They'll put Eldridge again on that left side as they'll stack the backfield. Whaley will now pitch it this time to Mucker, and he'll go to midfield and breaks through one tackle and will go down at about the 47-yard line. And some fans thinking he wasn't down yet. And they'll mark him down at the 46-yard line. Or actually, I think it'll be it is the 46-yard line, as the ref wasn't sure if he should put it on the 46 or the 47. Mucker with 66 yards rushing so far tonight. And Whaley will pitch the ball to Mucker once again to that right side, and he is met in the backfield. And actually, no, he broke the tackle, and now will run to the left side, trying to get past Dalton Myers, and he drags him down back into Valley Center territory at the 42-yard line. That'll be listed as a 12-yard loss for Valley Center. And that brings Mucker down to 54 yards rushing. As the Hornets will have it from their own 42-yard line, trying to convert on third down. So far, they haven't been able to do that much tonight, as they are 1 for 4. And Whaley will take the snap and find, I believe that is Mucker on the screen pass, and was not able to get the first down, and he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line, making that just a 3-yard pass completion. I think it was actually number 26 of the Hornets, Rylan Bailey, that caught the ball. But either way, it's a 3-yard pickup, and it'll bring up fourth down for the Hornets. That pass brought Whaley up to 106 yards passing. And Gonzalez gets ready to punt the ball downfield, and it's a line drive punt to Jarek Purdy, and he'll field it at the 20-yard line, and we'll go to that left side of the 25, try to get through a tackler, and we'll go down at the 27-yard line for a 7-yard return. And Hayside will bring their offense back onto the field, trying to recreate another touchdown like they did on their last drive, which was a 4-yard run by Malik Baugh. And actually, we had a penalty flag come in on the end of the play as the refs talk things over. It'll be a hold against Hayes High, which will set them back a few yards. And as Purdy was brought down at the 27-yard line, that'll move Hayes High back to the 16-yard line. So they'll take over there with 4:52 to go here in the third quarter. We'll see what Hayside does right here, is they'll put their starters on the field while also putting McGuire in on the field, which means Reuter's out for just this play. And they'll put twins to the left and one receiver to the right. Graham will be in the backfield with Baugh and McGuire, and he'll hand it off to McGuire, who will try to get to that left side, juke out a defender, and will go down at the 18-yard line to make that a 2-yard pickup, as he was able to juke out a defender, but someone else came in and made the tackle, so it's just 2 yards on the play for McGuire on his third carry of the game. He now has 7 yards through the ground, and now Baugh will get the handoff as Graham takes the snap, and he'll be brought down right away for just 3 yards on the play. And that'll make it 3rd down and 5 now for the Hayes High offense. Malik Baugh has been the star of the run game tonight for Hayes High once again, as that carry brings them into triple digits through the ground. Graham will fake one snap and look to the sideline to get the play call, as Hayes High will try to convert on 3rd down once again. They are 3 for 6 tonight, as they came into this game only averaging 40%, and now Graham will try to he'll find Braden Meckel on the slant route and be brought down at the 28-yard line for the 1st down. And that'll be another 1st down for Hayes High, as Braden Meckel gets his 2nd reception of the game. to bring him up to 10 yards receiving. Graham now 8 for 10 passing the ball. Has also completed two touchdown passes as well. And now on first down, they'll put two receivers to the right and one to the left, and he'll hand it off to Baugh, who will run up the middle to that left side and will be brought down at the 30-yard line for just a 2-yard pickup. And that'll make it 2nd down and 8 now for Hayes High. And now they'll put the 2 receivers to that right side and leave Braden Meckel alone on that left side as the clock goes down to 2:50 to go in the 3rd quarter. It'll be McGuire in the backfield with Graham as he will take the snap and hand it off. And McGuire will run up the middle to about the 35-yard line as well to mark him down as he got through a few defenders on that play. Listing that as a 5-yard pickup. Just McGuire's 4th carry of the game. That brings him up to 12 yards rushing so far, as he's had 3 positive run plays, and then on his 2nd one he lost 2. But is starting to get more carries now on this drive, as now it'll be Baugh in the backfield as Graham will fake the handoff to him and run up the middle. And I think he is short of the first down by a couple yards, as it's just a 1-yard pickup. And that was Graham's 7th carry of the game, giving him 37 yards so far. And that'll make it 4th down now for Hayes High, as they are now 4 for 8 or 50% on 4 for 8 on 3rd down now, and once again at 50% on conversions. And we'll see if they try and go for it right here. And it'll be a false start against Hayes High, as on that left side it was Gus Corsair that jumped. And that'll put Hayes High back 5 yards and more than likely make this a punting situation now, as they'll now have it at the 31-yard line with 1:38 to go in the 3rd quarter. The Hornets will send back number 1, Daymont Mucker, to field the punt, as Graham lines up in the offensive formation and then takes the steps back. And it's a line drive punt towards the Valley Center sideline. Takes a couple bounces and just goes out of bounds before reaching the 30-yard line. And after a 6-play drive, Hayes High will bring their defense back onto the field, and Valley Center will try to create something better than their last drive, in which they went 3 and out and had to punt it once again. So we'll see what they try and do right here. So like I just said a second ago, there's 1:22 to go until we reach the 4th quarter. Valley Center will start from their own 31-yard line, as Whaley will take the snap and do the quarterback draw to the right side of that offensive line. He'll be brought down at the 32-yard line for just 1 yard on the play. That's just his 3rd carry of the game. And that'll make it 2nd down and 9 now, as the clock as we reach the 1-minute mark in the 3rd quarter. They'll put 1 receiver on each side for Valley Center. And Whaley will take the snap, and on a 3-step drop will look towards that right side and finds his receiver, Sam Eldridge, who will break a tackle and go into Hayes High territory to the 45 and be brought down at the 41-yard line for the Valley Center's 3rd first down of the game. So that will be listed as a 27-yard pickup on the play. And I believe that's actually Eldridge's first reception of the game as well. And no time to waste for Valley Center, as they will snap the ball, and it'll be I believe it'll be the fullback Ethan Outley that took the ball for just 2 yards on the play to the 39-yard line, as we have 22 seconds to go until we reach the 4th quarter. And I believe that is, or actually Valley Center is going to try and get one more play in before we reach the half, or before we reach the 4th quarter. And Whaley will take the snap and go back to throw and try to find Sam Eldridge, and finds him at the 10, and he'll go down at the 6-yard line. And it'll be another first down for Valley Center, as he was able to find Eldridge. Whaley was able to find Eldridge on the post route, and make it first down and goal now for Valley Center, as that was their 4th first down of the game. So that'll be listed as a 33-yard pickup on back-to-back pass plays to Sam Eldridge. And we will now go to the 4th quarter and see who will be facing off against either Eisenhower or Andover next week. So we'll step away, and when we come back, we will have our 4th quarter action as Hayes High leads at 24-7. This is Hayes High Football on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Lewis Field Stadium as we are ready to start the 4th quarter of play, as Hayes High leads the game 24-7. Valley Center has it now 1st and goal from the Hayes High 6-yard line, trying to cut the lead down to just 2 scores now, as Whaley will take the snap and hand it off up the middle to the running back, Rock Showmaker, who's getting some pushes at the end of the play and drags a few Hayes High defenders into the end zone, and it will be a touchdown for Valley Center, as I believe it was Rock Showmaker, and it was who took it in for the touchdown that play, just his 2nd carry of the game, and that'll make the score 24-13 for the Hornets, as there's 11:53 to go in the game. And they'll trot C.J. Gonzalez out on the field to attempt the extra point. Like we said a little earlier, he is perfect so far this season, has not missed an extra point. And they'll try to cut the lead down to just 10 points. And the snap is down, and the kick is up, and he knocked it right down the middle. And Valley Center cuts the Hayes High lead down to just 10 points with 11:53 to go. So we'll step away for a moment, and we'll see what Hayes High can do on their next offensive possession. This is Hayes High Football on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. After a 5-play drive that was capped off by a 6-yard touchdown run by the running back Rock Showmaker for the Hornets, Valley Center gets ready to send it downfield to Hayes High as the Indians lead at 24-14 with 11:53 to go here in the 4th quarter. C.J. Gonzalez getting ready to send it downfield to Jarek Purdy and Malik Baugh. And he runs up and sends the ball downfield, and it's a line drive kick towards Jarek Purdy, and he will field it at about the 7-yard line. Trying to get some blockers in front of him. We'll go to the 15, 20, 25, 30, and go down at about the 32-yard line, and that's where Hayes High will start their possession. And I think they'll actually mark him down at the 31-yard line. But either way, Hayes High will take over with 11:44 to go here. Or actually, it's going to be the 30-yard line is where Hayes High will start this drive. As they look to the sideline and get their play call. Trying to extend their lead. They'll start with 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right with Malik Baugh as the running back. McGuire will line up on the line as well, so Reuter is not in at tight end at the moment. Graham will take the snap and hand the ball off to Baugh, who will go to the 30, 35, and go down at about the 38-yard line off of the draw play to the right side. So that'll make it 2nd down and 2 now for the Indians. As that was the 24th carry of the game for Malik Baugh. He's now at 111 yards rushing and also has a touchdown to go with that. As Hayes High will line up with 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right, it's 2nd and 2. Graham will take the snap and look to Jarek Purdy on the Hayes High sideline, and he'll complete the pass and go out of bounds at the 44-yard line. And that'll make it another first down for the Hayes High offense. Will be listed as a 6-yard completion, 3rd reception of the game for Jarek Purdy. He has 44 yards receiving on the game. And Graham has 138 yards passing, as he's got 9 completions off of 11 attempts. He'll take the snap and hand it off to Malik Baugh, who will juke out defensive lineman and go to pass midfield into Valley Center territory at the 49-yard line. That'll be listed as a 7-yard carry for Malik Baugh. Brings him up to 118 yards rushing. And it'll be 2nd down now for Hayes High, 3 yards to go. And they'll put twins to that left side and 1 receiver to the right. And penalty flags come in as a defender or a D lineman jumped for Valley Center. I believe it's going to be offsides. And it is. It'll be, I think it was Noah Chobad who jumped that time. But Hayes High is going to get another first down. That's their 12th of the game. And they'll take over at the Valley Center 44-yard line. As Graham will take the snap and hand it off to Malik Baugh. He'll try to get to the outside and will go to the 40 and trying to get to the 35-yard line. I'm not sure if that last effort got him there, but I think they're going to mark him down at the 36-yard line to make that an 8-yard pickup. Malik Baugh has gotten 26 carries so far tonight to go with 126 yards rushing. As Hayside will put just Reuter on the line to that right side and put trips to the left side of their starting receivers, Meckel, Cano, and Purdy. And Malik Baugh is lined up in the backfield with Graham. As Graham will take the snap, he'll hand it off to Malik Baugh. He'll try to go up the middle and also run to that right side, but it'll just be 1 yard on the play as he was met at the line by number 69, Trey Heitzman of the Valley Center defense. So it's just a 1 yard pickup that time for Malik Baugh. And that'll make it 3rd down and 1 now. Hayside will try to convert again. Graham will fake one snap, look to the sideline to get the play call. So we are approaching the 9-minute mark here in the 4th quarter. Graham will take the snap as Baugh's on his left side, and he'll hand it off to Malik Baugh, who will take it to the 34-yard line, and I think that will be enough for the 1st down, and it is, as the refs signal for the clock to stop. And actually, I don't know if they are going to list this as a 1st down. And the white cap is signaling for it, and it will be a 1st down. The 13th 1st down of the game for Hays High. And they are now 5 for 9 on 3rd down conversions tonight as well. Hays High will put Jonathan Cano and Jarrett Purdy on that left side and put Braden Meckel on the right side as Hays High's on the right hash. Valley Center will show blitz from that left side, and it'll be a handoff to Ian McGuire. He'll go to the 30 and try to get to the 25, but is met by number 8, Steele Showmaker of the Hornets, and I believe he's going to be marked down at the 27-yard line, so that's a 7-yard pickup that time for Hays High, as that was Ian McGuire's 5th carry of the game. Hays High looks to the sideline to get their play call. We got 8:14 to go here in the game. 2 receivers to the left and 1 receiver to the right, still on that right hash. And McGuire lined up behind Graham. He'll take the snap, hand it off to McGuire, who runs up the middle to the 20 and be cut down at about the 18-yard line. Once again, it was Steele Showmaker of the Hornets, and it'll be a 9-yard pickup that time. And it's a fresh set of downs now for Hays High. 14th 1st down of the game for the Indians. And Valley Center will call a timeout, as Hays High will have the ball at the 18-yard line. We got 8:02 to go here in the game, and we'll step away as they talk things over. This is Hays High football on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Following the timeout, it'll be 1st and 10 Hays High after the 9-yard run by the running back Ian McGuire. And from the 18-yard line with 8:02 to go here in the game, Hays High will put 2 receivers to the left and 1 receiver to the right. They'll stay on that right hash, and this time it's Baugh that lines up in the backfield with Graham, as Graham will take the snap and hand it off to Malik Baugh. He'll just get 1 yard on the carry, and actually, no, he did not gain anything that time, so it's his first rush of the game actually it's his 3rd rush of the game that doesn't result in anything. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 now for Hays High, as they'll look to the left. As Graham looks to the left, he'll take the snap and hand it off to Malik Baugh once again, and tries to get a little drive at the end of that play, and he gets just 1 yard on the play. So it'll be 3rd down and 9 now for Hays High. So 3rd down 9 for the 17-yard line for the Indians, as that last carry brought Malik Baugh to 129 yards rushing. Hays High looks to the sideline as we are well past the halfway mark of the 4th quarter, with exactly 7 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Hays High will put 2 receivers to the right and 1 receiver to the left. Graham will take the snap and fake the handoff to Malik Baugh. Now we'll roll to the left side and trying to find Braden Meckel, and couldn't quite connect with him, as on the coverage that time was number 24, Jonas Shielk of the Hornets. And that'll make it 4th down now for Hays High. Graham now 9 for 12 passing the ball. And we'll see what they decide to do right here. I don't believe this is in Harley Zimmerman's range. And I think Hayes High is going to probably try and go for it here as the clock stopped after the incompletion with 6:51 to go. Ball will be lined up behind Graham, and he'll take the snap and fake the handoff, and we'll take a couple steps back, and now we'll find Ian McGuire in the end zone. Touchdown, Hayes High. Ian McGuire snuck through the defense, and in the center of the end zone, Carter Graham was able to find him for the 17-yard pass completion, and Ian McGuire has his second touchdown reception of the night. And that brings Hayes High up to a 30-14 lead with 6:45 to go. Graham now 10 for 13 throwing the ball on 155 yards. And now Harley Zimmerman will go out to attempt the extra point as Cannell will put the snap down. It's another line drive kick, and it is good as Hayes High will go up 31-14 with 6:45 to go. We'll step away as the teams get ready to prepare for the next drive. This is Hayes High Football on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Following the 17-yard touchdown pass from Carter Graham to Ian McGuire, Harley Zimmerman gets ready to send it downfield to Valley Center. And that last drive for Hayes High took 4 minutes and 59 seconds as we have 6:45 to go here in the fourth quarter. And Graham has done a great job throwing the ball tonight, as that was his third touchdown pass of the night and making him 10 for 13 on the night. And now we'll see Harley Zimmerman send it downfield and see what Valley Center can do on offense. As he sends it downfield towards that left side of the return, it takes one bounce and goes into the hands of Daymont Mucker, who will try to run to the left side and doesn't get any blockers, and will go to the run backwards now to the 10, and will be brought down at about the 13-yard line by number 22, Dalton Myers. And I believe they're going to mark him down at the 14-yard line, which is where Valley Center will start off this drive. So Valley Center's last drive was a touchdown run by number 29, Rock Showmaker, that took them just 5 plays to score, and they'll try to recreate that right here. As they'll put one receiver on each side, they'll be on that right hash as Waylu takes the snap and will look towards that left side and find Daymont Mucker at the 17-yard line, and he'll be brought down right there for the 3-yard pickup. Dante Junker was the one that brought him down, and that'll make it 2nd down and 7 for the Hornets. As that's now 168 yards passing in the game for Hank Waylu. And like we just said, it'll be 2nd down and 7 now. That last play got Mucker up to 100 yards receiving on just 2 receptions, and Waylu will find the check down to Gavin Sainer, the tight end. And the ball, I think the ball came out at the end of the play, and not quite sure who recovered it, but a penalty flag came in, and we'll see what it is. Either way, I think Valley Center recovered the ball, but either way, but also there's a penalty flag on the play. It'll be against Hayes High, and that'll move them up to the Hornets up to the 35-yard line as they get 15 yards at the end of the play. Waylu up to 171 yards passing, as he was able to find Gavin Sainer on that previous play. And now he'll drop back to throw and look towards that left side, or towards the Valley Center sideline, and it was intended for number 21, Sam Eldridge, but broken up by number 22, Dalton Myers, and Kamani Jones was in the area as well. So Valley Center will have it from the 35-yard line, 2nd and 10 now. And Waylu will take the snap and roll towards the left side as he was escaping the pressure. And now we'll load up, and I think it was a completed catch, but it'll be incomplete as it was intended for. It was intended for number 22 of the Hornets, Gavin Sainer, and that'll make it 3rd down and 10, as that's back-to-back incompletions for the for the Hornet offense. Whaley's 7 for 14 after that incompletion. And so far on the night, Valley Center's 1 for 4 on third down. As they'll now go with one receiver on each side as Whaley will take the snap and drop back to throw. And it was tipped and intercepted by the Indians. It's number 45, Wyatt Kirkpatrick. It fell right into his hands as it was intended for the tight end, number 87, Trace Amig. He bobbled it, and Wyatt Kirkpatrick got the interception, and Hayes High will take over. Wyatt Kirkpatrick with his second interception on the season. As Hayes High will take over with 5:17 to go here in the game. Hayes High will start at the Valley Center 43-yard line with 5:17 to go. And it'll be a run up the middle. It'll be Malik Baugh on the carry that time to the 41-yard line on a 2-yard pickup, giving him 131 yards so far on the night. And I think they'll actually list it as a gain of 3, and they will, so that will give Malik Baugh 132 yards rushing on the night. As Hayes High will look to the sideline, trying to run as much clock as possible, just trying to get out of the game now, as they lead by 17 with 4:38 to go. And they'll put one receiver on each side as Graham looks to the sideline to get the play call. He'll take the snap and hand it off to Ian McGuire, who will run the ball up the middle to the 35 and be brought down at about the 33-yard line for the 7-yard pickup. And I believe that might be another first down. We'll see and the ref on the Valley Center sideline is signaling it's a first down. 15th of the game for the Hayes High offense. As that was McGuire's 7th rush of the game, bringing up to 35 yards total. As we approach the 4-minute mark, Hayes High looks to the sideline. Like I just said, they're trying to waste as much time as possible and get out of this game. And they'll put twins to the left and one receiver to the right. McGuire is in the backfield with Graham. Graham will take the snap and hand it off to McGuire, and he'll go to the 30 and go to the 25 and broke through a tackle at the end of the play and will go down at the 22-yard line. And I think that's another first down for Hayes High. As I think they'll actually mark him down at the 21-yard line is what it looks like. Nope, it is the 22-yard line. And the 16th first down of the game for Hayes High. That 8th rush for Ian McGuire brings him up to 46 yards as Hayes High just continues to try and run the clock down with 3:36 to go into Valley Center territory. Ian McGuire will line up on the line of scrimmage with Dawson Reuter as well, and Malik Baugh in the backfield with Carter Graham. And on the left side will be one receiver, Braden Meckel, and on the other will be Jonathan Cano. Graham takes the snap and hands it off to Malik Baugh, who will run to the right side and be brought down at the 18-yard line for just a 4-yard pickup. That last carry now gives him 32 carries on the night for 136 yards rushing. So that'll bring up 2nd down and 6 right now for the Hayes High offense. Looking to the sideline with 2:45 to go here in the game. And we'll try and get an update as Hayes is trying to run as much time off as possible. We'll get you an update on that game between Eisenhower and Andover to see who the Indians will face next week. And as we get that update at the end of the 3rd quarter, Eisenhower led Andover 28-6, and Graham will take the snap now and will try and run the ball, and we'll go to the 20-15 and be brought down at the 14-yard line, and a penalty flag comes in the backfield as it was with Malik Baugh and the number 33 of the Hornets. That's Bryson Sainer. And I think this is going to be against Hayes High as they walk backwards, as it'll be listed as a holding for a loss of 10. Hayes High will have it at the Valley Center 28-yard line with 2:16 to go as the clock continues to run. as they look to the sideline, as there's 2:08 to go on the game clock and 15 seconds to go on the play clock. McGuire's in the backfield with Graham as Meckles on the left side, and Malik Ba and Jarrett Purdy are on the right side, as Graham will take the snap and hand it off to Ian McGuire, who will run up the middle to about the 26-yard line. I believe is where they'll mark him down for a 2-yard pickup on the play. That was the 9th carry of the game for McGuire, bringing up to 48 yards so far in the night. As we are now at 1:30 to go. Hayes High just trying to run the clock down as it's now 3rd down and 16 for the Indians following the penalty that set, or 3rd down and 14 now after the penalty set them back. We'll try and run it down as there's a 1:12 to go on the game clock. There's 10 seconds to go on the play clock, and Graham is going to get his offense ready as they tried to run it down as much as they possibly could. And Graham will take the snap with 1 second to go on the play clock, and will hand it off to McGuire, who will run towards that right side and go down at the 24-yard line for another 2-yard gain. So Hayes High will now have just 56 seconds left, and a timeout will be called by Valley Center with 56 seconds left. And we'll step away once again as they talk things over. This is Hayes High Football on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Lewis Field Stadium following the Valley Center timeout, it'll be 4th down and 13 now for the Indians, as that last play made him 5 for 10 on 3rd downs, as that will most likely be the final stat in that category. And so far tonight they are 1 for 2 on 3rd down, or 4th down, and Graham will take the snap and will roll to the right side, getting ready to throw the ball, and will now load up and look towards that left side for Ian McGuire, and it is broken up by number 3, or I believe that it's either number 3 of the Hornets, Colby Newton, or number 8, Steele Showmaker. But either way, a penalty flag was thrown, and it'll be PI against the Hornets, and that should be an automatic 1st down for the Indians. As the refs will talk things over to see what it is. The penalty would put Hayes High towards the 9-yard line, as they had it at the 24 on the previous play. And that'll actually put him at the 12-yard line. So either way, they get the 4th down conversion, and it'll be their 17th 1st down of the game. Or actually, it'll be 4th down now for Hayes High. It'll be 4th and 1. And just with 46 seconds to go in the game, they'll try and convert right here so they don't have to give the ball back to Valley Center. As Graham will take the snap and hand it off to Malik Ba, who will run it up the middle once again, and he got the 1st down to the 8-yard line, making that a 4-yard pickup. And as the clock continues to go down, I believe that they're going to shut the play clock off, which means Hayes High can just run the clock down and celebrate the victory. That carry gives Malik Ba 140 yards rushing on 33 carries. And as there's the same amount of time on the play clock and the game clock, Hayes High will head to their sideline, and Valley Center will head to their sideline as there's 15 seconds to go. And that will do it here, as Hayes High wins the game tonight 31-14, and will set up will most likely head down to Goddard next week to face off against the Eisenhower Tigers, as Valley Center will finish their season with a record of 5-4. And we'll talk more about both teams when we come back, as we will have our post-game show coverage. And we'll be back in a moment. This is Hayes High Football on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Lewis Field Stadium, as the Hayes High Indians get a win in the 1st round of the state tournament, as they defeat the Valley Center Hornets by a score of 31-14. We'll start off tonight's post-game show by recapping the entire game. Valley Center started the game with the ball and went 3 and out, which would lead up to them punting the ball and being blocked by Dalton Myers for a safety, and the Indians would go up 2-0. And then Hayes High would turn the ball over on downs on a 7-play drive that featured 40 rushing yards and 4 passing yards, and then Valley Center would have to punt it once again, and then Hayes High would get their first offensive score of the game on the 4th play of their second drive as Carter Graham found Jarek Purdy for a 31-yard touchdown pass, and then it would set up a 4 consecutive possessions for both teams, 2 of each, that resulted in punts. And then Valley Center would get on the board as their quarterback Hank Whaley would find the running back number 1 Damont Mucker for a 97-yard touchdown reception. And then finally, then on the next drive, Hayes High would run a 6-play drive that would be capped off by a 12-yard passing touchdown from Carter Graham to Ian McGuire. And then Valley Center would punt the ball once again. Hayes High would run 1 play through the ground for 7 yards, which would take us to halftime. And since Valley Center received the ball to start the game, Hayes High received it to start the second half. And on that drive, it took Hayes High 10 plays to find the end zone, which would be capped off by a 4-yard touchdown run by Malik Baugh, as well as another 2 yards by Malik Baugh for a 2-point conversion for the Indians to go up 24-7. And then Valley Center would punt the ball once again on another 3 and out, and Hayes High would do the same thing, except that drive would last for 6 plays, and then due to a penalty, they would be forced to punt it. And Valley Center would then score on a 5-play drive that would be capped off by a 6-yard touchdown run by the third-string running back number 29, Rock Showmaker, and then Hayes High would respond once again with a touchdown of their own after a 12-play drive that would be capped off by a 17-yard touchdown pass from Carter Graham to Ian McGuire, the second time those two connected on the night. And then Valley Center would run a 3-play drive and then try to convert on 4th down, which they failed to do as White Kirkpatrick stepped up and got the interception. And then Hayes High would have the ball for the final 5 minutes and 17 seconds of play and end the game and win by a score of 31-14. So we'll step away for a moment, and when we come back, we will give you our final individual stats on the night as well as final team stats, and then put some final scores from around the state, and then end tonight's broadcast. This is Hayes High Football on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Lewis Field Stadium on the post-game show as Hayes High defeats Valley Center 31-14 to move on to the regionals of the Acacia 5A State Football Tournament. We will now read off our individual and team numbers from tonight's game. We'll start off with Hayes High's passing and receiving numbers, which Carter Graham did a great job tonight, going 10 for 13 passing the ball for 3 touchdowns and 155 yards altogether. And his receivers included Jarek Purdy, who had 3 receptions for 44 yards and 1 touchdown. And then Ian McGuire was the one who led that category as a running back with 4 receptions for 107 yards and 2 touchdowns. And also getting receptions were Braden Meckel getting 2 for 10 yards altogether, and Dawson Reuter getting 1 for 4 yards. And now looking at the running game for Hayes High, Malik Baugh led the way there with 140 rush yards for Hayes High, as well as the only rushing touchdown for Hayes High. And also Ian McGuire had 50 yards on 10 carries, and Carter Graham finished with 37 on 7 carries. And now looking over at the stats for the Hornets, their quarterback Hank Whaley finished with 7 completions off of 15 attempts for a total of 171 yards and a touchdown. That 1 touchdown was to the running back number 1, Damont Mucker, who finished with 2 receptions for 100 yards, with one of those coming from that 97-yard touchdown play. But leading the way also in receiving was number 21, Sam Eldridge, who had 2 receptions for 59 yards. And then the running back number 26, Rylan Bailey, finished with 1 reception for 3 yards, as well as the tight end number 87, Trace Amig, with 1 reception for 6 yards. And then the backup tight end, Gavin Sainer, number 22, finished with 1 reception for 3 yards. And now looking over at the rushing stats for the Hornets, they finished with Damont Mucker finished with 9 carries for 54 yards, and his quarterback Hank Whaley finished with 3 carries but didn't get a single yard out of it, as he picked up 2 yards on his first and then lost 1, or picked up 2 on his first and then lost 3 on his next, and then on his final rush he was able to pick up 1 yard to get himself out of the negative. And then also picking up stats tonight for the Valley Center running attack was number 31, Ethan Outley, the fullback, finished with 1 carry for 2 yards. And then number 29, Rock Showmaker, finished with 2 carries for 9 yards as well as a touchdown. And then Sam Eldridge had 1 carry for 1 yard, and so did number 26, Rylan Bailey. Now we'll take a look over at the team stats, and we'll start off with Valley Center, who finished with a time of possession of 14 minutes and 3 seconds. And on third down, they were 1 for 4. And also, they did not attempt a fourth down conversion tonight, but picked up 4 first downs altogether on the night and were perfect on their extra point attempts, going for 2 for 2. And also, they were able to pick up 67 rush yards on the night, as well as 171 yards through the air, getting 238 yards altogether. And now looking over at Hayes High, they had the ball for 33 minutes and 57 seconds and did a great job on third down, converting 50% of their conversions at 5 for 10, and went 2 for 3 on fourth down. That only one they didn't convert was on their first drive, where they lost 1 yard on fourth down, and then picked up 17 first downs on the night and were also perfect at 4 for 4 on their extra point attempts, and finished with 227 yards on the ground, 155 through the air, and 382 yards altogether. And now, before we sign off tonight's broadcast, we'll let you know of some final scores from around the state. We weren't able to get all the games, but so far this is what we have. Great Bend defeated Salina Central 38-24 to extend their winning streak to 3 games, and will meet Cape and Mount Carmel next week, though we don't have a final score on that game. Maize South got up at halftime on Bishop Carroll 27-7, and then went on to win it 41-28. And Eisenhower is who Hayes High will meet next week, as they defeat Andover 35-6 after shutting out the Trojans in the second half. And then we already told you about the Maize Goddard game during our pregame, so this is the game that is guaranteed to be decided, which is since Liberal beat Newton by a score of 44-0, Liberal will play host to Maize next week. And our final game that we'll say is not part of the 5A West playoffs, but it, like we said, TMP was up at halftime on Larned 8-0, and would go on to shut out the Indians, winning 22-0, and will move on to face either Norton or Cimarron next week. And now we'll look over at the 5A East. We only have 3 final scores on this game, or on this side of the bracket, but so far this is what we have. DeSoto defeats Casey Turner 57-6 to improve to 8-1 on the year, and will meet the winner of Seaman and Casey Washington. And then we have 2 games that we don't have a final score on, but were basically decided. Mill Valley defeated Topeka West, and Spring Hill defeated Leavenworth, as those 2 will meet at Mill Valley next week. And Emporia Blue Valley Southwest got up on Emporia 34-0 at halftime, and then never looked back, winning by a score of 56-13. And our last final score that we have was Shawnee Heights shutting out Sumner Academy, winning by a score of 68-0. So that'll do it for tonight's broadcast. As like we just said, Hayes High will meet Andover next week on Friday, and the only way that we know of right now that Hayes High could have another home game on this season is if they win next week and Maize defeats Liberal next week. So we'll see how it plays out, and we'll see how far of a run Hayes High can make it. So we thank you for listening to tonight's broadcast. This has been Hayes High Football on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We will see you all next time.